I don't think people realize how influenced they are every day by others, by what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they're experiencing, what they're perceiving. And so when you understand that, all right, now how do I, from a builder, how do I influence more people to choose me?
JP, it's 2026, and I know for a fact if a builder's listening to this, man, it's been a wild ride the last few years, especially when it comes to the sales side of things, like the pre-construction, actually just pre-construction.
Yeah, pre-construction's been, taken longer than most people would like. There's more challenges. You've got more skeptical clients.
More back and forths with contract before contract signed.
Totally. In price inflation, clients' budgets versus realistic expectations. The classic, take it to an architect or a designer, it gets designed, then they go find the builder, it's way over, then they're trying to value manage it. That just stretches out that whole pre-con process, and then you get fatigued clients that then just think, this is too hard. Then the RBA increases rates. Yeah, there's lots going on.
Yeah,
but
I feel for builders, but at the same time, like a lot of businesses as a whole, not even just this industry,
and reading in the building space and outside the building space. If you looked at property investing, all the new changes that have come in place with the new budget and stuff. And you read with some of the great investors, property investors, you read what they're putting out, and it's like business as usual. Yeah, this is part of doing business. Either, this could be really harsh, but either shut up shop, stop, or accept that this is the new field that you're playing on and adapt.
But, and I think that's just across the board, like with AI as well.
Totally. Any business, totally.
Are you going to be the Blockbuster or are you going to be the Netflix? Like that's one thing we're focusing on massively at the moment. Like we don't want to be the Blockbuster. Like what happened with Blockbuster back in the day when Netflix came along. They don't want to adapt. They don't want to evolve. That's why we're investing a lot, experimenting a lot with this whole AI thing. We believe more than ever that the human story and that side of things is going to be more beneficial now more than ever. But again, we could just be biased. But anyway, that's our belief. And I think there's a lot of research that backs that up. And I guess today we want to go a little bit more into that specifically in terms of how builders can use that when it comes to...
I think social proof. Social proof is so incredibly powerful. And I feel like we haven't discussed it enough on this podcast. It's woven throughout all that we do. It's what... I don't think people realize how influenced they are every day by social proof.
By others.
By what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they're experiencing, what they're perceiving. And so when you understand that and you go, well, okay, now that I understand it, you can kind of get a bit of a Truman Show effect and be like, all right, let me zoom out. All right, now how do I start influencing the people that I want to influence? From a builder, how do I influence more people to choose me?
Exactly. And I think a goal for us with this episode is to go deep on this topic today. Still try and keep it short, value-packed, but go deep on this particular topic because we all see this gap at the moment when it comes to builders. Most builders are not using social proof, all right? They're not using social proof in their marketing. They don't have social proof like in the form of video. And they are definitely not using, from what we hear, verbally when they're actually communicating with prospective clients and clients. And it's actually the easiest way to get someone on board with your way of thinking. So bear with us. Like if that didn't make sense, it'll make sense by the end of this episode. So
how do you want to start this? Because this topic is very deep and I want to pack as much as I can into it without missing anything.
Yes.
There's plenty of examples we can give, plenty of social psychological studies that have been done over the last centuries.
Well, let's start with why social proof, right? Okay. So let's start with why social proof. I mean, we all refer to this book all the time. I think you're holding that book.
I'm holding it. It's the Holy Grail.
Show the book.
This is the new version.
Okay, and for those that are listening, what's it called?
It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, written by Dr. Robert Cialdini.
Yeah, that's good. All right, few rapid fire examples of social proof. All right, so I'll give you one, you give me one, and so on, right? So when my wife and I, we walk in a city, we've got like a date night or something, we're away, and we want to try and find food. We walk past the restaurant, we look inside, and there's no one there.
Yep.
What do? We keep moving. There's no one there. This restaurant's obviously, other people don't want to go there. So
but I'm glad you point that out.
Yeah.
Like when you see it's empty, when we talk about social proof, what is happening there? What's influencing your decision, and what is your perception?
Well, yeah, my perception is, well, I know what my wife's perception is, because she's always like, if something is like 2 days before the due date, she's like, nah, I'm not going to eat that anymore. Like it's pretty funny. But anyway, so I'm like, well, in her mind, she's like, oh, the food in there is probably old, so I'm probably going to get food poisoning. That's her thing. But my thing's like, oh, it's probably not that good because there's no one else there.
Yeah.
And then we walk, and then we see another restaurant, and it's packed. And then all of a sudden, like we get to the front, and they're like, yeah, it's like a 30-minute wait. And then we're like, okay, fine, we'll wait. Like put our name down.
It must be good.
Yeah.
If everyone's willing to wait.
Yeah. So I'm hungry, my wife's hungry, and we just want to enjoy ourselves. But anyway, I'll put my name down, 30 minutes. I'm happy to wait 30 minutes. All right. Actually, I should have used the example in Japan. We were in Japan last year.
Yeah. What happened?
And I heard about this coffee shop on, like, because I love coffee, and my wife as well. So every time we travel, we'll find coffee shops.
Yeah.
Okay. So found this coffee shop called Glitch in Tokyo. Okay. And we got there, and the line was so long. It was probably like 80 meters down the street. And we're like, stuff it. Yeah, it's an hour and a half. Like I still have photos when we first got there, and then when we actually got our coffee, it was like an hour and a half. It was like, a few things happened here. It was like, yes, we were happy. And also we had a 3-year-old there as well. So for anyone that's got a 3-year-old standing in line for an hour and a half, you know what it's like. All right. But luckily we were together.
I think some listeners are going to call you crazy, but
yeah.
Continue.
We should put the photos on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll try and remember, get the editor to put it in. Anyway, and so we're happy to do that. While we're waiting in line, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is so long. Is it worth it? All this stuff. But when we finally got to the front, it was literally the best coffee I've ever had. Now, I don't know if it was or not, or is it just the reason why? Because there's all that social proof, all those people standing there.
Like the whole time you're standing in line, you are constantly being reinforced. This is worth it. Look how many people there are.
Yeah, and all the people that started lining up behind.
Exactly. I was going to say, what about if you look behind you, you would see more and more. So then you have this the sunken cost theory. Like we've invested all this time already. If I jump out now, look where the line is. I would have to jump back in way back there. Okay, so now I can't jump out. So all these things compounding in terms of creating that social proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had looked online at this company before getting there?
Yeah. Well, I saw it on a video.
Okay.
And everyone was saying how good it is and expect the line to be long. And we were there on I can't remember. I think
middle of the week,
Tuesday morning. Wow. It's people that come from all over the world to come stand here in line. So it's not just people that are on their way to work to grab a quick coffee. Definitely not. Like you can see that. And then, anyway. So that's kind of like one example. Yeah. I went from the restaurant to the coffee shop thing because that's like a real, super real example from recently. But yeah, what about Cialdini? Like he mentions a few examples.
Oh, there's plenty. I mean, the page I'm open on here at the moment, he just talks about a very simple example in terms of, and it's a study that he quotes, but he talks about in New York City, and you can test it yourself, but he talks about a study in New York City where he had one person standing on the sidewalk looking up, and then there's someone across the road's now studying what's going on, and then everyone just walks past. Crazy person. But then the next day they brought a whole group of people. I haven't read how many people. Let's assume it's 5 to 10 people then standing there looking up. They found 80% of the passerbyers looked up, and the more people then that stopped to look, the more it influenced more people to stop and look up at absolutely nothing. And it just that obviously it was as part of a whole study, just showing the importance of as simple as that. What is all these people around me are doing it? There must be something I'm missing, or that seems to be the norm. And so if you can also in social proof start to create this perceived norm of people just like you are more likely to take the similar action. Yeah. And definitely if someone is unsure, it's the more unsure someone is, the more they're going to look for the actions of those around them.
Yeah.
He talks about a business model back in 1820 by these two guys in France. They started hiring themselves out to singers and opera performers, where they would place themselves in the crowd and they would just start to clap, and the whole crowd would start to clap. And so they assured the performers and singers and opera performers that the crowd will clap for you. It'll be a good performance, and people are going to walk out being like, wow, that was amazing. The whole crowd was just clapping for them. And so you're creating hype, essentially. That's crazy to think that back in the 1820s, that was a business model that these two guys created.
Yeah.
And it's been ever since, from what this book was saying, ever since then, it's been a business model that has operated within inside the opera space.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get into like the tactics soon in terms of like what builders can actually go away. Like once they park after they've listened to this episode, like what can you go implement in your business right now to incorporate social proof? But I think the first thing we want to just accomplish is like really for builders to understand the power of social proof. There's one social proof that builders will resonate with straight away that you might not think is social proof, or builders might not have thought about that in the past. And that's like referrals. So all builders have had a referral in the past at least that turned into a job. That is just social proof.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the core principle before we move on, what we want for everyone to like really understand is that buyers, so people that want to build, especially when it comes to builders now, right? They want proof that people like them have already made this type of decision with you as a builder before. Before
and
they
had
continue.
a good outcome.
Yes, and have had a really good outcome. So that's kind of like the realization we need builders to understand here. And the thing is, if you don't have any of that, you're really going to struggle, because there are builders around you that do have that in place. All right. They do have all the Google reviews. They've got the video case study stories. They've got a lot of people referring because they've been building for them, and all these kind of things. So that's why it's so important.
Yeah, it's the important as well in terms of people perceiving, like you said there earlier, they want to see that people like them have done something. That is incredibly important, and that's why.
So how can builders do that, especially in this like digital world?
Yeah, then the stories you tell have to be real. I would say, got to stress that. I mean, you were talking earlier about
don't fake it
off camera. Yeah, about some of the new laws coming in with
fake testimonials,
like
AI testimonials.
Yeah, some international laws, consumer laws coming in about that. But yeah, real stories is going to allow your prospective client, the consumer on that end, to believe that the journey that they are watching, seeing, feeling is almost them. Like if you can get that close, and that's what we always aim to do, is I want to watch that and go, I feel like that's me. I feel like I've already walked this journey with you.
Yeah, and also the business understands me.
Yeah.
Like I always tell this story, ever since we started Biz Video, like probably I'd say a year or two in, we were using some bookkeeping software that we had to install on our computer. That's how old Biz Video is, where you installed accounting software on your computer. It wasn't cloud. Xero came along, and then they did this really, really well. So before I committed to Xero, because it was Xero and something else I could have subscribed to. There were two cloud ones back then.
QuickBooks?
I can't remember, MyOb or QuickBooks or whatever. Right? So Xero did this well. I was on the website. I remember this. And they understand social proof so well. I mean, they've been doing this. Like these videos that I saw on the website was...
Well, for them, it's important for any business. But for a business that is like Xero, it's like, what do you like numbers and figures and spreadsheets? And so social proof... Yeah,
and I mean, builders listening to this, they're probably using Xero, and the way they got onto Xero was probably another builder saying Xero. So that's social proof right there, referral, influence, all that stuff. But me going back to this time, like no one was using Xero back then that I really knew. So I jumped on their website and they had about 10 different videos on there, like client case study videos. There was an accountant, there was like a lawyer, there was like a retail shop, a creative studio, and then like a mechanic, and like all these different types. Guess which one I clicked on?
The creative.
Yeah, the creative one, because I resonate with that. Like that creative, and then the story they told there, it was the same pain points that I had, right? You probably you had the software installed on your computer, it was clunky, and if the computer broke, your bookkeeping stuff was gone, and all the problems that came along with it. And then the journey of it, and then the solution being zero. And then guess what I did when the video stopped? I just went, sign up.
Yeah.
So that video sold me. Zero didn't sell me. It was the creative, their client, their customer, that sold me on it.
And the important thing there to point out was just how well you resonated with that. But the only reason you were able to resonate with that person is because that story there was conducted in a way for you to have that impact. It wasn't, because some people I'll talk to is like, oh, I've got some, let's call them testimonial videos done. But it's a video of like, essentially it's a Google review in video format.
Yeah, in video format.
It's, hi, we're Jack and Sally, and we built with so-and-so, and it was wonderful. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
The build's really quality, and he finished it on time. It was just lovely, and we would love to do it again, and we would recommend him.
Yeah.
And you think, okay.
Which is probably better than nothing.
Totally.
But
totally.
If you have stories that can actually really move that target market, get them to hook them to want to keep watching, and then getting them to feel the pain that they are actually in and resonate with the pain that other customer had in that video.
Totally.
The journey they had to go on to find you, including like all the other psychological barriers they had to cross to make that decision, because it's a huge decision. Signing that contract is massive, right? They're going into a build now, whether it's a small renovation or a big build or whatever. It's big. It's a big decision. And then, they've got to go through all of that whole journey, and then the payoff. I'm fast forwarding this whole thing right now. But that's why you've got to understand storytelling. You've got to understand psychology, human psychology, and then how to actually get that person, that client, that is an everyday person, not a trained actor, to be able to say the right thing.
Yeah, totally.
How do you do that as a builder?
Yeah. And the other thing as well is to articulate the fear, because it's so important to understand the fears that your clients or prospective clients have. Some of them they don't even articulate. Like a big one is the whole what if something goes wrong? And I think some builders can get caught in this idea of, well, I need to communicate this perfect message that we don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
I was talking to a builder yesterday about the importance of this, and I used an example where someone recently that I know of chose to go with a builder based on a referral, and the referral, one of the things that really got this friend of mine over the line was the referrer said, oh, well, there was a mistake made, but they solved that problem straight away. They apologized, got it sorted. And what that said to the friend of mine was, oh, that's, therefore that they have a process in place to solve problems. And if something comes up, because the fear is something may come up, and so that there's that what if, but that story there of someone just like them showed if a problem comes up, we can solve it. And it's actually not a big problem at all.
100%.
Whereas if it's too perfect, it's not believable. It can be perceived as not believable, or it doesn't answer the question, what if, which is always in someone's mind.
Yeah.
What if my scenario is different?
Yeah.
What if something comes up? What if something I don't even know about happens? So that's always yeah.
And I think this is really important. I mean, I know you and Andre did an episode a while ago, like literally just recorded before this episode, where you guys discussed the, builder, they need to have their DNA, and part of that DNA is them being clear on their target markets.
Yes.
And them being clear on their target markets include things like what are their fears, what are their desires, and it's got to be real, and then you can use this in the case studies. But this kind of I guess, moves us forward to the fact of, look, builders need not just one case study. they need multiple because you have multiple target markets.
And just to clarify on that, because sometimes some builders, when you talk about target markets, they think, are you talking like new homes and renovations, or
It could
bathrooms?
be that.
And it could be.
Yeah.
But even if someone's like, let's say I do second story additions,
Just that.
Yep. There's a whole range within that. You know, is it for the growing family? Is it for the empty nesters? Is it for the Craig? You know, talked about on the podcast recently. One of his clients where it was the family living in the homes. One of the spouse's parents were getting old and ill, and so they wanted to create a second story addition to have their parents move in upstairs.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that avatar.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you can create a library of these stories, it means that the next person that comes into your ecosystem and gets caught in that web of your marketing before talking to you, and ideally you want them to get caught in that web as early as possible to get as influenced as possible, then they can watch that and they'll find a story that they really resonate with. And they go, that's us, great.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if you can create as many of these stories as possible in your library, it allows them to watch that and go, man, it doesn't matter who you work with. You consistently take people on this amazing journey and deliver this outcome, which builds massive certainty.
Yeah. And also, like, when that person watches the story, they need to watch that story and go, oh, damn, I have not seen any other builder deliver this to me. There's no one else. This is the only builder.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the price difference. Yes, if it's an astronomical difference, that different story. But, you know, if it's a few percent here or there or whatever, if they are comparing, they can't even compare. They're just like, these other builders did not show that to me.
Yeah.
This is the power of it. Like, builders, you guys have to take this serious.
And dealing with just to interject there with some like the price myth. Price does play a part, but I consistently hear from builders that they win projects where they are the most expensive.
Yeah, 100%. It's not even a secret anymore. Just going back to the avatars, I just want to quickly, I want builders to really understand this and give them ideas around the different type of avatars.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So in terms of, let's say, for example, your goal is I want a library of 15 case study stories, right? What 15 can I create here? Okay. So it could be, if you're a builder that do new homes, renovations, extensions, like all these different ones, you want case studies on all of them, all right? If you do, let's say, for example, if you're niched, let's say just second story additions, just to give your example before, is it the empty nester? Is it this? Is it the young family?
The growing family,
yeah,
needing space, the multi-generational family.
That's right. You want to create on like one on each one of those. Yeah. Now, if you do a niche, let's say just new homes, just young families, all right? Now, different scenarios in that. Yeah. Okay, so different problems or different fears. Yeah. So let's say you have one client where their fear was, maybe their scenario is, this is the first new home we're building. Yeah. Okay. Another one could be, this is a new home we're building, we've renovated before, and that was really tough. So now there's a story on that. Then there's another, let's say, first home, like couple or whatever, and their big fear was, their whole thing was budget blowouts, that fear. So you can create case studies that way. So there's a few different ways.
To add to that, there'd be, what about families where there's kids with special needs? What about a family where they are going to be interstate or overseas for a while? You know, so you're building without them even being there. It's all different virtual, or
it could literally be the same person in a way. Like they look exactly the same.
Or what about those that do D&C? So then it's a case of, what about the person that comes to you with plans versus the person that comes to you without plans? You know, that's there's endless amounts there, and it's so important to create those different stories. Yeah, because it shows then that it ultimately you want a prospective client to watch these and go, I have no more questions, or I have no more doubt. Yep. Because then if they're confident, a confident buyer buys. Yeah. If I have any uncertainty or hesitation, I don't sign.
Exactly. You want to eliminate any confusion, any fear by building trust. And obviously you're going to do that through taking that person on that journey, like talking to them face to face. You're going to, that the aim is to build trust. You're going to do that on, let's say, for example, for a lot of our clients listening to this, you're going to do that with your overview story, 100%.
Yeah.
That's going to build trust. You're going to do that with, if they're going to go check out your Google reviews, they keep seeing you on social media, like you're posting new content, showing that you are a business that is alive. They keep seeing your ads every day, every single day. Because if they don't see your ads, they're going to see the other builders' ads.
Yeah.
They're going to pop up. So you want to make sure you're in front of them.
And that your stuff is different and it differentiates you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key point here is you've got to keep showing up.
Yeah.
Right? The whole time there.
And so just on that differentiation fact, like, and how that ties in with social proof and things being real rather than AI these days. That's one thing that people can never copy. It's like, let's say Ben built for Jackson Stacey. That scenario only ever happened once. That Ben with that Jackson Stacey building that house only ever happened once. That cannot be copied. So when we go into depth on that journey, then someone can go, it's unique. So, I mean, I can go more on that, but as a scenario where those three elements we're talking about tie into an example.
Yeah. I think the goal should be for this should be the challenge. I honestly believe every builder should have a case study on every single project they do. Do you have any pushback?
Well, I know what the builders are going to say in the sense of like, what at this client, it's not my ideal project.
Yep. Oh, like the actual
yeah,
build?
like I want to be doing $1 million to $2 million of builds.
Yep.
And this was a friend's thing we did. It was like $400,000.
Yeah.
Renovation.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So to overcome that, what you want to focus on is the question you want to ask yourself as a builder. Did I build this project to show off to other builders? Or did I build this project to help our client? Okay?
Ooh, that's good.
Right? Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Your mission as a builder, other than you have to be profitable business to feed your family, your team and all that stuff, should be to have an impact on your target market. And that is to build quality, which is a prerequisite. We always talk about this, but have an impact on that family or whoever you're building for, so they can enjoy that home, right? You want to tell that story, and then put that story out in front of other people, because again, it's not other builders are not going to engage you as a builder. Like, stop marketing to other builders. Like, I think this is the thing we see most of the time. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into this. Oh my goodness. But going back to
sorry to interject. Too often we find that when guys have done stories in the past, testimonial style videos, there's too much emphasis on the home or the
materials
and stuff and it's like, well, do you feel like you could use that story once you start doing projects twice the size? Or if you change your niche, can you still use that? Whereas when the emphasis is on the client, their journey, the trust that they had in you, how you helped them make decisions, the relationship that they had with you, and then the impact you've had on their life. You could build on Mars, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could go from building bathroom renovator to being a passive house architect home. You're still coming in and serving and helping the client with the focus is on them. And that's, again, for any driven builder, the next project's always going to be the one. And if the next one is always the one that you're wanting to showcase, well, it'll always be in front of you.
You're not going to showcase anything.
Yeah.
And the reframe that we all have to, and when I say we have to focus on our case studies again. We were talking about this morning.
Yeah.
It's like every single client needs to do a case study for us.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a few reasons why that will help us, other than sales and marketing. I'm just talking other byproducts. But I think the reframe we all have to have, especially builders, is that we need to give prospective clients the permission to feel like I'm not alone. Someone else just like me has been through this. Yeah. That's the permission we need to give. And that's how we do it through case studies. You know, they're going to sit at home one evening, can't sleep, like a builder I'm talking about now. And they're on social media, and boom, they're on social media, BizVideo's case study comes up. We're giving that builder the permission to go like, wow, BizVideo gets me. They understand my problems. They understand the fact that, look, I'm trying to run a building business here. It's not easy. We've got all these problems, like contracts falling over, materials, team, 1,000 messages every day, 1,500 phone calls, all these invoices that are overdue, like all these things. Like BizVideo gets me, and they're going to help me, even if it's just like on this marketing side of things, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And not just the time they're going to put into it, but the psychology and the expertise they bring along, being in business 16 years. That's what, you know, we need to give them that permission. Yeah. And that's the same for builders, you know. People can't build their own homes. They need you, the expert.
Totally.
So what's some of the hidden byproducts of creating case study stories, especially on every single project that you do?
That's a good question.
Other than marketing and sales, if you have a library of 15, 20, 30 case study stories, good luck to any other builder out there. But let's talk about some of the other byproducts.
So the other byproducts that we've seen over the years would be retention of amazing team, because you're reminding your team, we're not just punching out this product, this home or this project. You know, there's more, because if your goal is to be creating these amazing case studies, then there's more of an emphasis put on the client's experience. And I would encourage any builder out there, if you're hoping to do a story or video on a home, make sure the whole team is aware of that.
Yeah. From the day.
We want to over deliver on this client's experience. So every interaction, when they come on site, you say, hi, good morning, Mrs. and Mr. whoever their names are. Make them feel special. That's a whole team's, and then the byproduct of that is you get a team that's creating a better culture on site, and then they enjoy their work more. Then they see the outcome in the story, and we've heard from our builders, the retention is amazing. Builders try to get headhunted, get offered more. No, I get too big a kick out of working here, part of this team. Yeah. And then not only that is you start to attract better team members as well. They go, that's the sort of project you've worked on? Or not, sorry, emphasizing the wrong thing there. That's the impact you have on your clients. I want to know that the work that I'm going to do has purpose.
Yeah.
And we've had even one of our builders was trying to poach a guy, an estimator from a big company, to come to their small growing company. And I don't know if they're going to offer him the same income, maybe less. And he was on the fence. And then we just created a case study for them. And they sent that to him on the Friday and just said, hey, just so you know, this is the impact that we have on our clients. Monday, accepted the position. And I said, I want to come on board and I want to be a part of having that kind of impact. So that's
cool.
Yeah. And
here's another thing, just to make it super real for builders. Like, give me one example of a builder that have told you this in the past, that they stuffed up on a project, like the team stuffed up, and it cost the builder X amount of money. Like, do you have one example of that?
Most builders have that story.
Well, just give me one. Like, give me a figure. Like, what's a? It's like, oh damn, if we didn't do this stuff up, it wouldn't have cost us X.
Yeah. Builder miscalculated labor hours on carpentry, and they lost $200,000.
Yeah. Okay. And what about like the team stuffing up?
Just the team miss. Oh, there's so many. I can't pick one.
Just think one.
I don't know.
It's like, which one yesterday?
Yeah. It's maybe give me more information and I can land on one.
I have a close builder friend.
Okay.
$500,000 easy.
Okay.
Just mess up, stuff up.
Okay.
Because the team was stuffed up.
Yep.
Let's say a case study video cost you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. No, not cost, the investment was 30, 40, 50 grand to create a case study story on a project, which it's not. Like, all our clients listening to this, it's not even near that.
Yeah.
But let's just imagine it's that much. Mm-hmm. Imagine a prospective client is about to sign up with you and you have a team meeting. You go, team, we're about to do this renovation or this new home or whatever. We're going to do a case study on them. The client's going to tell the story of how we help them. You better not make any mistakes. You better show up. You better greet these people really well. Nothing's a problem for them ever. We take full responsibility for everything. Make them feel like gold. What is the outcome of that project going to be? Like the chances. You might still make mistakes, but chances are it's going to be way less.
Yeah, but the client is also going to have a far better experience, which means the client becomes a way, let's say, louder ambassador, positive ambassador for the company. Yeah.
And this is another byproduct. Let's move on to the next. So the one byproduct that we just mentioned.
I've got another one.
Yeah. So the one byproduct we were talking about there is that your team will do a better job knowing there's going to be a case study story. So that's why we suggest a case study on every single project you do. The other byproduct that we were talking about this morning, which you just led into, was commitment and consistency. So that book you just put down there, Influence, by Robert Cialdini. He talks about commitment and consistency. When someone says something, they want to, it's in our human psychology, in our DNA, to want to be consistent. So if I say I like oats, I better then eat oats. If I don't, I'm not going to be consistent with what I've said.
And to elaborate on that, Cialdini talks about it, but as human beings, if someone is inconsistent, what does that say about them?
They're inconsistent.
Right, but there's other things connotated to that as human beings. Someone who is inconsistent is not reliable.
Yeah.
If I can't rely on you, I can't trust your word, which means I can't trust you. Now, if you're a builder, and you're trying to influence somebody to trust you, you need to show consistency.
Yeah. What
is one way you can show consistency? I mean, super simple is, do you do what you say?
So you're talking about the builder or the client now? The builder.
This is the client making a decision on the builder.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they're perceiving the builder as consistent or not consistent, which then leads to them thinking this person is trustworthy or not trustworthy. So everything you do, is it consistent?
Yeah.
Are you consistently putting a message out there? Is your message consistent?
Yeah.
Is what I see online, the you I meet in person.
Yeah.
It's like if you've been in business for a long time and you only have one case study online, that doesn't seem consistent. Why do you only have one?
Yeah.
If you've been doing stories for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, when you build out that library, I'm seeing consistency in the outcome. Therefore, I can trust who you say you are.
100%.
So,
but if we switch it over to more, I was talking more about the client being consistent. So if they are happy to be on camera and to praise you, the builder, and tell that story, they're going to be more likely to be consistent in other areas outside of the relationship they have with you as a builder. So they might be at a barbecue or wherever or with their friends. They're going to have that same message that they said on camera there to their friends, which means more referrals. So I've seen this so many times before, including like the client we just saw at the coffee shop before. Like he'll be listening to this podcast. Hey mate, how you doing? I've seen this with his clients as well. He's mentioned this to me a few times where he does a case study on someone and then those people refer him more because it's this consistency that they need to be with. So did you want to add anything to that?
No, that's, very, there is so much my brain says I want to communicate on this, and there's so much depth to it. And you talk about the fruits that come from it. There's so much. Two other fruits. One would be building is not easy. If you're running a building company, I don't need to tell you that.
Yeah.
And so the amount of builders that we consistently work with, and they've said, I found myself watching my case studies last week because maybe we're dealing right now. We've just got this client that just turned wacko overnight. They were amazing. I don't know what's happened. And it's just really weighing down on me. And I'm questioning why I'm doing this. And I watched my case studies and it was just so great. And I sent them to the team again and they were just so grateful.
Yeah.
That we'd capture those stories, and it's so true. That's why we do this. That's who we get to work with. Not this one-off that's weighing us down right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of builders that they deal with this. So when they hand over, yeah, the client's excited and stuff, but I don't know how most handovers work because everyone's probably different. But I can imagine it's an opportunity to look for any defects. You know what I mean? Like walk-arounds, like, oh yeah, this and that. You know, the client has never had the opportunity to praise you. And I've seen this so many times. Like builders think the client won't say something nice of them because of the relationship they've had. It was a good relationship, but it was a very professional relationship. It's, I've given you the money, you've given me the build, and that's it. There's no real thank you for the builder to feel exactly what you just felt like before, what you just mentioned before. But if you do put them in this scenario of putting them in front of camera, the truth then comes out.
And so much more.
Yeah, so much more. Yeah, because it's someone else.
Yes.
It's someone else. Like let's say, for example, it's one of our team members interviewing that subject, that client. They feel comfortable and we dig deep.
Yeah.
So these things come out that the client would never have told you.
Yeah.
Ever. And that is really good for you and for your team, and not for your ego, but for you to go, man, what I'm doing is actually good.
Yeah.
I'm having an impact on people's life.
Totally.
We need that feedback. Like at BizVideo as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we didn't get positive feedback ever from clients and how we're changing their lives as builders, I wouldn't be doing this. Like it's way too hard, like all the effort. And the same for builders. You need, for yourself, you need that feedback.
Yeah.
You need to go like, I'm actually having an impact.
I like what you said there in terms of most builders, if you're not creating these in-depth case studies, you're not really getting anywhere near enough feedback, which is also really important to then feed into what do you communicate to the next person to influence their decision. And that's why capturing it is so powerful. But at handover, the client, there's so much they're trying to take in. Their new home, they're looking at that. So of course they're going to say thank you. That's what you do when you get given something amazing like that.
Yeah.
And so your brain goes, well, that's to be expected. And so it kind of can bring down the weight of their gratitude. You know, and their focus isn't on you. Their focus is on their new home or the renovation that you've done for them. And then you hand over the key, and then that's kind of it sometimes. And yeah, you see them in the shopping center or in the street, and they say hey, and they say, we love our home, and that's awesome. But there's a huge lost opportunity to capture that story there.
You're right. And this just made me think, like, I believe every builder, like if you're a client and you're listening to this and you have, you know, we've done case studies for you in the past, like go watch these case studies over and over again. Like every month, just go watch the case studies and observe them. There might be a little sentence that you say next time you actually catch up with a prospective client. Yeah. You have to use this because the reason why I say this is because you are in builder expert mode every single day. You're talking to the team, architect, designer, engineer, this, council, that, like all these different things. And then you're talking to the client as well. But you want to actually get into the psychological side of things with clients. And something they have said to you in a case study story, it might just be one sentence, like, I can't think of an idea right now, but it could just be one sentence that you use next time when you talk to a prospective client, and that'll make all the difference. It'll get them to trust you more.
Yeah, big time. The one thing that we have found consistently when we create these case studies is that what gets, like you said, because we're conducting it rather than the builder themselves or someone in the builder's team asking the questions to the client, we can go way deeper. One, because we know how to do it, but two, we're a third party. Whereas if the builder was asking them, they're going to tell the builder, and it could be subconscious, all the things that the builder wants to hear. Things that the builder has subconsciously communicated to them throughout the build. This is what we emphasize or focus on or we're proud of, or so that gets fed back to them. And so there's this huge amount of information that's not being communicated that went into, one, the experience that the client had with you, but also what led them to making the decision. Like that is so important. Like you said, a builder, when they're talking to that next client, they're so caught up with day to day, they're not really in the mind of where's that builder at right now? What are those unanswered questions that are going on in the back of their mind that is holding them back from trusting me or saying yes to me or going ahead or moving faster on this? Or to get you back in that frame of mind, or to even open your mind up to what some of those things are. Some builders are unaware of what they are. You've got to hear it from a client. And we've definitely opened a lot of our builders' minds up to what's actually influencing it. At that point of signing, or at that point of reaching out and calling, what was going on in the mind then, which they can't extract, because sometimes the client can't articulate it until it gets asked properly.
Yeah. And then there's like the whole like story structure in terms of how we structure the story and all of that. But let's leave that for next episode. Thank you for joining me today, James.
No, thank you. That was good fun.
Yeah, it was good.